The story begins in the year 1997, when a boy named Yin opens his eyes in a car. Yin lives with his mother, father, and older brother, Yusuk. We find out that all of them are moving into a new house. When they reach their new home, Yin feels like he has seen this house before, even though he's never actually been there. It feels familiar, like something he saw in a past life. Yin's brother Yusuk has always been the top student in his class. He even graduated from a top university. He was also excellent in sports, which made him quite popular among girls. Yusuk didn't drink, smoke, or do any drugs. On the other hand, Yin was an average kid, and he often had mental breakdowns. Because of that, he had to take medicine every day. Yin feels it in his chaotic life. The only thing he can be proud of is his brother Yusuk. A year ago, Yusuk's back was injured in a car accident, because of which he now walks with a limp. Yin and Yusuk have to share the same room now, because the previous landlord still hasn't vacated the small room Yusuk was supposed to stay in. At night, during dinner, Yin hears some sounds coming from that small room upstairs, but his family denies hearing anything. Later that same night, Yin again hears loud noises from the room. He decides to go check it out, but before he can go inside, his brother Yusuk stops him and takes him out for a walk in the rain.
The two brothers climb up a nearby hill and enjoy the weather. Suddenly, Yusuk gets a call from their father and is urgently called back home, which forces him to leave Jin alone on the hill. While Yusuk is returning home, some goons surround him and try to kidnap him, but Yusuk gives them a solid beating in return. At that moment, Jin notices the fight happening nearby. He tries his best to save his brother, but the goons manage to take Yusuk away. Shocked and panicked, Jin runs back home. To ease his mental stress, the first thing he does is tell his parents everything about what just happened. Later, Jin has a dream where someone is being roughly interrogated. Suddenly, he wakes up and finds himself lying beside his parents. In the next scene, Jin is seen talking to a detective. He gives them the number of the van the kidnappers used, but the detective says that no such number exists. Days pass, but no ransom call comes to the family. Then one day, Jin again hears the same strange sound coming from the small room. He sees the same interrogation dream again. Then, on the 19th day, Yusuk suddenly returns home safe and sound, but he has no memory of anything that happened over the past 19 days. According to the doctor, it's a case of amnesia, and the only thing the family can do is support him and let things stay as they are. Later, Jin sees Yusuk leaving the house again. The next day, for some reason, Jin forgets to take his medication. During breakfast, he asks Yusuk where he had secretly gone the night before, but Yusuk denies going anywhere. When Yusuk leaves the house again, something feels off to Jin, because this time Yusuk is limping with his right leg instead of the left one. That night, Jin fell asleep at a study table. Taking advantage of the situation, Yusuk once again prepares to go out, but this time before leaving, he makes sure Jin is in a deep sleep. He waves a pencil's graphite near Jin's eyes and doesn't stop until the lead falls from the pencil. Once Yusuk leaves, it's revealed that Jin was actually awake the whole time. He follows his older brother in a taxi. Yusuk lights a cigarette and walks ahead, and Jin sees something that confirms his suspicion. This is the same person who had previously come to their house to conduct that interrogation. Yusuk comes from behind and knocks Jin unconscious. The next day, Jin wakes up at his study table. When he sees Yusuk lying on the bed, he gets scared and quickly locks himself in the bathroom. Yusuk asks him why he locked himself in there, and Jin tells him everything that happened last night.
But Yusuk brushes it off, saying Jin probably had another dream. Jin insists he's fully aware and knows exactly what he saw. When Yusuk stops responding, Jin quietly picks up an aluminum pipe and steps out of the bathroom. But before he can do anything, Yusuk overpowers him and tries to calm him down. He tells Jin that nothing happened. Not the pencil, not the taxi. None of it was real. Then Yusuk asks, "Did you take your medicine yesterday?" That question stops Jin in his tracks, because he remembers he didn't. So he takes his medicine and calms down again. Yusuk heads out. After he leaves, Jin goes to a study table to focus on studying. That's when he sees a broken pencil lead on the table. Now Jin is sure Yusuk lied to him. Jin tells everything to his mother. She says she'll talk to his father, but also tells Jin they should collect more proof first. Later, Jin secretly hears his mother talking to Yusuk about everything. That's when Jin realizes this is not his real family. These people are pretending to be his family. Just then, his mother senses someone outside the room. She heads toward Jin's room to check, but Jin quickly gets back in bed just in time. After she leaves, he jumps out of the window and runs away, hurting himself in the process. Outside, he runs into his fake father. Then, in panic, his mother also comes out. When his fake father tries to stop him, Jin shoves him and runs. His mother quickly sends a goon after him, but Jin somehow manages to escape and reach a police station. There he explains everything to the police. They run his name in the database. What they find shocks him. Jin was born in 1977 and is 41 years old. But Jin insists he's only 21. A police officer then asks him, "Okay, then tell me, what year is it?" Jin replies, "It's 1997. The officer reveals, "No, it's 2017. Jin is stunned. He looks around in shock and sees people holding mobile phones. On TV, there's a news broadcast showing South Korean President Moon Jae-in and American President Donald Trump together. When Jin looks in the mirror, he realizes he really is 41. Completely confused, Jin decides to return home to confront the fake family. There he hears a radio playing in the small room, which has now been turned into a mock crime scene. The boy pretending to be his brother comes forward and tells Jin the truth. 20 years ago, in that very room, a teenage girl and her mother were murdered. The police never caught the killer and the case went cold. So the victim's family sent in this fake Yusuk to track down the real murderer. After some investigation, the killer is identified. It's Jin. From here, the scene shifts into a flashback. We see that Jin had been kidnapped and brutally beaten in an attempt to force him to confess to the murders, but Jin kept claiming he was innocent.
Jin's fake father tells the investigation team that Jin has lost his memory because the incident was too traumatic. The investigators then suggest to the psychiatrist that maybe they could hypnotize Jin and mentally send him back to 1997. That might help him remember what really happened. Everything was going according to plan until one night, Jin sees Yusuk getting arrested. It turns out Yusuk had actually been imprisoned for fraud and had gone missing for 19 days because he was in jail. After 19 days, he was released on bail. This also clears up the strange sounds coming from the small room. They weren't supernatural. They were from the investigators who were working there in secret. Now the story returns to the present. Yusuk is taking Jin to a place where he says Jin must now pay the price for the death of 2 innocent people. Jin insists he's innocent and jumps out of the car. Yusuk chases him, but his car crashes into a tree. Meanwhile, Jin also gets hit by a truck. This sends him mentally back into the past to 1997. We now see a younger Jin with his parents and older brother Yusuk. Suddenly, in a car accident, Jin's parents die, and Yusuk is badly injured. Jin desperately needs money for Yusuk's surgery, but due to the 1997 financial crisis, it's a hard time. While searching for a job online, Jin receives a message from a stranger. The man offers him a large amount of money, but only if he kills someone's wife. The man says the kids in the house must remain unharmed. Jin enters the house, but his conscience won't let him go through with it. He tries to leave, but just then the mother and daughter see him and scream. In a panic, Jin kills both of them. Suddenly, a young boy walks out and sees Jin, but Jin quietly tells the boy to go back to his room. As he's leaving, Jin realizes something shocking. The house belongs to the doctor who was treating his brother Yusuk. Jin tries to understand why a doctor would want his own family dead.
The doctor later confesses that due to financial ruin and bankruptcy, he took out several life insurance policies in his wife's name. And since Jin accidentally killed both the wife and the daughter, the doctor now tells Jin that Yusuk will also have to die to complete the price. They get into a fight. In the struggle, Jin accidentally pushes the doctor off a ledge, killing him. Now the story comes back to the present. Jin wakes up in a hospital. The boy, who had been taking Jin to the forest earlier, the one who survived the accident, is still alive. He tries to poison Jin, but Jin tells him, "My memory has returned." The boy then reveals the truth. He is the same little boy who, 20 years ago, watched Jin kill his mother and sister. After they died, his relatives took all the family's money and left him at an orphanage. Through tears, he asks Jin, "Why didn't you kill me that day too? I wish you had. Then I wouldn't have had to live with all this." He also demands to know why the murders were planned by his father. But Jin lies and takes full responsibility himself. The boy doesn't believe him, and by now, Jin also realizes that, whether he meant to or not, he did kill an innocent family. Overwhelmed with guilt, Jin stabs himself and dies. The boy, now fully aware of the real killer behind his family's death, jumps out of the hospital window and ends his life too. And that's where the movie ends. If you liked the movie, then please support the channel and subscribe to watch such an amazing movie explanation.